Okay, let me explain to you right now why your relationship fails. Let me explain to you why the woman that you claim you're in love with, or why the woman that you claim you really want to be with, pulls away from you or stops loving you, or ultimately gets bored. Okay, this is what you have to understand. Women need progression in a relationship, just like how you need progression in life with the things that you're focusing on building. So if you look at the things that you're focusing on building, right, what does a man want progression with? A man wants progression and strength and improvement and substance with the things he's working on. This could be his career, this could be his business, this could be his passion, his hobbies. I was traveling this week. I also didn't realize even how many people watch this channel. I was in Tampa. I had so many guys come up to me and, talk about how much they like the channel, or guys coming up asking for pictures with me, so that was really cool. I've never really traveled a whole lot, but this is what I started to see. We're going to go into so much detail today. The reason why the woman that you want to be with or that you really love stops loving you, okay, is because there is no progression. It's over. Meaning there's nothing left to build. She looks at you and she goes, this is the best it's going to get. And what I mean by that is, just like how you need progression with your life, maybe it's your self-improvement in certain aspects, your business. Okay, for me personally, I was gone for almost a week, or I think maybe even a little over a week. I was hungry for that routine. I wanted to get back to building things again and doing different things. And even though it was fun and I had some leisure or some vacation, some downtime, I wanted to get back to building what I do best. Okay, so this is the one thing that I noticed. In Tampa, when I was walking around, or just some of the things that I would pick up on, these women who are between the ages of 20 to 35 constantly have dogs. 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, just a bunch of dogs. They don't have any kids. Okay, listen to me closely. You got to understand this. Women need progression too, and women are going to get bored if every single day they look at you and there's nothing for them to build. What does a woman want to build? A woman likes to build words. A woman wants to build the relationship. Women focus on people, okay? For example, if you're going to be sleeping with a woman consistently, if you two are having sex together, listen to me closely. The point of sex is reproduction. That's what it comes down to. So if you're with a woman for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and the whole purpose of this is just lustful pleasure to hopefully have a bond between you two, this is what's most likely going to happen. Most likely her biology is going to look at you and go, this guy, for whatever reason, can't get the job done and there's no reproduction happening. So naturally her biology, if you want to call it that, or naturally her hardwiring starts to get turned off to you. Well, the next thing, just like you need your career to focus on, or you want to focus on things. So I'm not from a very big city, okay? I'm from North Dakota, so I didn't really see a big city ever. And then when I moved to Arizona, I also was never really in the city. I lived in, suburbs, neighborhoods, things like that, okay? What I saw in Tampa constantly, or even just me being more observant, women are using pets to fill the void for not having children or for not having families. So a lot of women, some of these women are great women, some of them are very beautiful, and it's like they're spending their time picking up animal shit and they don't have any kids. So it's like I've seen just so many examples how, a woman gets to 30, 35, 40 years old and then doesn't have a family and is sitting there. I hear all these things having to do IVF treatments and all of a sudden really trying to hurry up and find a guy to settle down with and all this stuff. But I want to take this even a step further, because it's like, you as a man, listen closely. If you have no progression in your career, things feel stagnant and things feel boring. So you see this all the time. A guy goes, I make $100,000 a year, but I just don't feel like I'm growing. I don't feel like there's any opportunity left here. I feel stagnant, because he's focused on the things in life that gives him fulfillment. He doesn't have that journey of progression. When a woman looks at you, she's going to be sitting there going, this relationship is over. There's no more progression. Okay, and the two basic things that humans do, which is survival and replication, that's really all there is to do, which is survive and replicate. You can keep up your existence through healthy nutrition, going to the gym, taking care of yourself, having a good stable job for yourself, having a good financial future. That's what you do as a man to build. The other aspect is going to be the reproduction, survival and replication, survival and reproduction. That is what life is. Well, constantly I see people together, there's no families, there's no kids, there's nothing to do. Well, it's like as you get older and your relatives start to get older and pass away, maybe your parents start to pass, you don't have anybody. Okay, and now what you're seeing is you're seeing a lot of times these people, they're using animals to fill the void of not having a kid to take care of. And just overall, like, this is what you have to remember is, like, when the woman looks at you, she has to see progression. There has to be some kind of progression. What you're going to notice about men and women is men focus on the things in life that they can build, or they can a lot of times look to improve on. Women focus on the people in their life and the relationships. So I even saw this, the conversations I would notice is like, when I would be around women, it's like a lot of the sentences, a lot of the words, it's strictly just about the vibe or the interaction, or even some type of like gossip or drama that's just emotionally stimulating. Sometimes I notice that me as a man, I'm like, okay, if there's no really like context to this sentence that I need to know, I kind of discard it because I'm looking at the facts or the things or the information that I need for a specific reason. If you notice, when women communicate, a lot of times it's just not like that. So women are going to be focusing on the relationships in their life. If there's nothing left to build, like, this is what you're seeing. It's like, okay, think of it this way. If you're sleeping with a woman, and let's say you two are together for 18 months, every single time you two have had intimacy, right? Every single time you two have slept together, there's just no reproduction ever. Well, that's like a failure every interaction. Like, ovulation window's there, no reproduction. So before anybody says, oh, well, Casey, I don't want to pay child support, or Casey this, or Casey that, or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any type of specific structure that anybody created on paper. I am completely talking about just how humans behave on an interaction level when it comes to just how people behave with human nature, female nature and male nature, just human nature in general. She has to feel some type of progression. There has to be a progression in the relationship, or else of course this is going to get boring. There's nothing left to do. So this is what you have to remember. This is what you want to remember, is like, when you start to look at things on a primal level, what's a primal level? A primal level means, okay, if you just like turn the clock back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, and you say, hey, how did God make me? How did God make me? Why are we here? What's the whole purpose to any of this? How would I interact? And what would be probably the appropriate way to do things? Okay, the appropriate way to do things would be just looking at things very naturally, okay? So because of that, what you have to remember is, like, the closer you can get to that primal essence, that primal state where you as a man, it's like she looks at you and you're just like so raw and real and unfiltered, that right there is going to signal so much strength. Okay, so this is what you have to remember is, like, not only are you managing the communication in the relationship, but the next thing that you're also doing is you're managing the overall human dynamic and the human experience. And like, if you're constantly as a man, like, think of it this way. There's a lot of guys out there, look at it this way, right? There's a lot of guys out there. Maybe you slept with 20 women, 40 women, 100 women, doesn't matter. If you, like, look at it this way. If you, to this day, if you slept with all those women, and number one, you're not with any of them, it was a failed relationship. And number two, if you had all of those intimate experiences in the bedroom with a woman and you have no children, they're all failed interactions. All it was pleasure. So when you start looking at things this way, it's actually pretty easy to make relationships work, because you start to see, hey, here's the things that I need as a man to feel fulfillment. Here's the things that a lot of times she will look at to get a fulfilling relationship. And then all you have to do is you have to just spot, like, what are people doing where they feel a void and they're trying to fill that void with something else. If you just wander around town, you're going to see constantly people filling their void. Like, for example, men today, they're constantly filling the void of having no purpose or having no meaning with gambling, watching sports betting, drinking too much, partying, different substances, constantly using escapes to fill the void of not having real purpose and real meaning, real God-given purpose in their life. Then if you look at what a lot of times women are doing to maybe fill that void for like relationships. Excessive amounts of pets, constantly calling their pets like their children. Another thing would be like excessive amounts of entertainment. What are all the reality TV shows? What are all the drama TV shows? What are all the magazine and articles that they're reading about different types of drama, different types of like celebrity gossip, things of that nature, different things to fill the void of lack of relationships, maybe even books they're reading or movies that they're watching, constantly dialed in to the latest artist or the latest celebrity in order to fill that void of not having the right type of communication within their own relationships. So this is what's actually going on. If you actually look at what's going on, it is pretty wild actually. I don't travel a lot because I just never have. So recently I went to a couple different places. Like I went to Hawaii a couple months ago, and then I went to Tampa recently. And yeah, that's just what I saw. Is I'm just walking around, I'm looking around, I'm going, holy moly, this is wild. Like I didn't necessarily understand probably to the degree that like this is just like blatantly obvious. So that's why your relationship is failing, is like you need to have progression. If you notice that a woman is pulling away from you, sure, you might have became weak, you might have became emasculated, but like if you have been together with a woman for like let's say a year, 2 years, 5 years, you need to think about all the times you two slept together, maybe even hundreds of times. And if every single time you two have slept together, if no pregnancy has occurred, it's essentially a failed reproductive experience. Just like look at the facts. That's what it is. So it's like if she is going to constantly feel no progression, and then every year or every month that she's with you, she feels older and older, she's going to start to feel like this is literally going nowhere. It's the same as if you have a dead-end career and you're looking around going, this is getting me absolutely nowhere. I feel like I'm not progressing. I feel like I'm not building my business. I feel like I'm not building the things in life I want to build. You start to feel like you have no purpose as a masculine man. Me as a man, I need to build things. I don't know about you, but I need to build things. And I don't care if this sounds cocky. I don't care if this sounds arrogant. I don't care. I need to build my body so I look strong and powerful for myself or for anybody. Or honestly, I don't really care who you say it's for. Sure, maybe it's for strength. Maybe it's to look a certain way. I don't really care. I like to look jacked. Okay, bottom line. Number 2, I like to build my career because that's what's going to give me stability and strength and purpose of knowing that I have the right future set up. Okay, those are the things that I need to do. I don't think I have ever spent a single day in my life gambling, playing fantasy football, sports betting. You can say that I'm different or I'm weird. I don't really give a shit. I don't care. I'm not going to do those things. And then every year I get ahead more and more, and everybody looks at me and go, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Look how lucky you are. It's like, no, dude, I work way harder than you. Like, I just work way harder than you. The truth is I just perform more. So if you start living life that way, you're going to just win. Okay, it's pretty simple. Cut out all the distraction that lets you not win, okay, and then just go win. Now, once you get to that point, what you're going to notice is that when it comes to long-term dating and long-term relationships, women start to gravitate towards the winners. Sure, a lot of times the guy who doesn't have a lot going for himself, or the fun guy, or the party dude, or the loser will get laid. But what you're going to notice is eventually, if it comes to long-term, who she's going to stay with, hypergamy starts to kick in, and she realizes that this thrill isn't going anywhere. And nobody can keep up the facade of being amusing 24/7. Eventually, she gravitates towards where the success is happening. So just keep setting yourself up. And then from there, all you have to do when you're dating a woman is look at the void in her life and fill that void. For some of you, you might notice that the void, like for example, do you really think that, okay, look at it this way. There's a lot of women just living alone in apartment buildings with like a dog. Do you really think that a woman wants to be alone forever? No, she wants somebody. She wants somebody. Okay? But the reason why she's rejecting you is because she doesn't see the male traits or the male characteristics that she would actually want in a long-term partner or with somebody. So just start demonstrating the right masculinity characteristics. If you start demonstrating the right masculinity characteristics, they're attracted to you. It's like flies on shit. Well, naturally, this is what you have to remember. If you act that way, you're going to just naturally attract. So fill that void that she's lacking. Fill that void. You might notice she's filling the void of emotional relationships with, let's say, reality TV or drama TV or different types of movies. You might notice that, You might notice that she really wants children or she really wants a family, but instead she just has 2 golden retrievers. Like, you need to just pick up on these things. If you do, life gets way easier. So what I advise you to do at this point in the video, since I consider these videos my life's work, since I've had thousands of students over the years, right now we have over 2,000 guys inside of this community. I'm helping them learn, understand, and master the language of women. Just go and check out what I built for you. That's all I advise you to do, because listen, if you just see the page that I made, you're going to see so many testimonials, so many guys getting results. Just click the page. That's all I advise you to do. You don't even have to join just yet. I don't even care if you join. All I advise you to do is literally just click the page. Because if you just take all the seconds of scrolling down, if you just scroll down and you see how many guys are getting results, how many guys are having success, you're going to be like, wow, this is actually pretty wild. You're going to be like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. Because if you just click the page and you see how many guys I'm helping when I help them learn, understand, and master the language of women, you're going to be like, wow, this is cool. This is something I can use. I created the system so you can just copy paste it into your dating life and go. There's absolutely no reason you shouldn't at least check out the page. You don't have to join. I don't care if you see the process or not. I don't care if you want the process or not. All I want you to do at this point in the video is at least just go and see how many other dudes are getting success. That's it. This is why your relationship is probably failing. If you're a man, listen, you might live to be 40, you might live to be 50, you might live to be 70, you might live to be 80. Me, I'm going to be 30 years old this year. I have to really make sure that I prioritize my time doing the right things that are going to give me fulfillment. Because of that, this is what you have to remember. When you get old one day, you want to most likely look back and see the family that you created. And right now, most guys don't have families, okay? Right now, most guys don't have any children. It's like you want to have a solid life experience. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.